Hi, everyone. Welcome to Align Dish. My name is Emily Azizi. I'm your host, and this podcast is going to be about positivity, mindset, life lessons, dating, and everything that's juicy. I'm really big on alignment, but as you can know, life happens. Not everything is always aligned, so therefore, Align Dish. Today, at our first episode, I'm so excited to introduce you my first guest. He's not only a great friend of mine, he's also a really good stand-up comedian. You've seen him at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, and he has worked with a lot of famous names. Give it up for Pej Ahmadi.
Yeah, we add our own sound effects.
Yes, I got you on the sound effects.
I love this, man.
How are
Great
you?
logo, yeah.
Thank you. I literally designed this myself, everything. And at first, it was going to be like other colors, but then with the studio and everything, I was like, you know what? It's aligning.
It's aligning. I love it. The green and the
Yes.
purple go well together. Yeah.
Here, I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, Pej knew when I was starting the podcast, and he was always being very supportive of me and giving me tips and ideas, and so I really do appreciate it.
Of course, I was like, I'll support, but make me your first guest, and then I'll support.
I was like, deal. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I want to start off with how we met. We met through a mutual friend, Tehran. Shout out. But do you remember the first time?
I do.
Oh, because I don't remember.
Wow, that's great.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
We met a lot.
That was the show. Thanks so much. I'm leaving.
Please tell me when. I know approximately, but
it
obviously
was it was his birthday show, I believe, last year.
Okay.
It was birthday show, and then I had no idea you were Persian.
Right.
Because I couldn't.
Yeah, I'm Persian, you guys.
Yeah.
He's Persian too.
No, I'm completely German. No. And then I saw you, and you were hanging out after the show. You were hanging out around Tehran, and I was there. I worked with Tehran at Laugh Factory on Thursdays, and it was Tehran Thursday, and it was his birthday show, and then you were out there, and I was like, what kind of white are you? And then you were like, I'm not. And then I was like, wait, what? And that's how we started. And then you were like, no, I'm Persian. And then it took me the first 10 minutes to process that. And then I realized, okay, no, you speak better Farsi than Tehran, that's for sure.
Thank you. Okay, yes, because I remember seeing you, because for you guys that don't know, Tehran is a amazing stand-up comedian. He's one of my closest guy friends, and obviously we met through him. But I've seen you a bunch of times there, so I didn't recall when exact I saw you, but I obviously knew
No, that's good.
Okay, so besides me being blonde and not typical Persian
and forgetting
looking,
how we met. Yeah, I get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was your first impression of me? Be honest, it's okay.
First impression of you, I thought at first I thought you just knew Tehran, and you were you were on the guest list.
A bad bitch.
You were bad. Okay. Yeah, you could say that. I thought you were one of those bad bitches. I didn't know you were from you lived in Europe though before that. So then but my first impression was she seems like she's into herself, but also she's not antisocial. Mm-hmm. Which was rare, because most girls that are into themselves think they're above everyone else.
I feel you can be both. You can love yourself, but you can also be humble and a good person. Just because you're beautiful doesn't mean that you are, no. Yeah.
Love yourself up.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the listeners, I was born here in LA. I am Persian. My parents are Persian, but I grew up in Sweden, so lived there my whole life.
Swedish fish. That's a great candy.
English is my third language. Just FYI.
Third language?
Yes, third.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, Swedish, Farsi,
yeah.
English. I understand Norwegian too.
Okay.
And basic Spanish, but I never say it because I hate when people are like, oh, I speak Spanish. And then they're like, have you seen that meme where she was like, estudiar en el, that one? I'm like, I don't want to be that person. So I'd rather be like, oh no, I can. And then I full on understand what they're saying.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Tricky. All right.
Okay, so when you met me that time, did you ever think you would be guesting my podcast?
No, I had no idea. I actually thought I'm probably not gonna talk to her again. But also, then I realized you're a cool ass chick. And
I'm so fucking cool.
And then we took you to. I invited you to NoHo. Remember when I asked you to come out there?
I was like, NoHo.
Yeah. There's definitely there are no hoes there.
No, we love
no hoes. Fine. I
everyone.
used to live out there, and then but anyway, so you came out. I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
You came out, met some of my friends outside of Tehran, and then it was fun.
Well, so for me, I'm very selective. I'm very picky on who I choose to have in my circle and as my friends. And you're not the first person, but like people that I've met through like a guy friend and this, like, there's a trust there, like, especially for women, like, at least like I know someone that knows you, like you won't like hurt me. You know what I'm saying? No, like it's really sad nowadays, but like that's like a part of me that like makes me trust you even more, like to begin with.
Welcome
and then
to LA.
Obviously and then obviously like you're a great person and everything. So
thank you. Keep
and then
going,
we vibe,
saying.
But so speaking of that, I want to talk about friendships, more so like guy and girl dynamics, like platonic friendships, etc. Because I remember like growing up, I always wanted to have like more guy friends, but it was always like weird. It was like this like weird thing, like they thought that I was gonna hit on them, or like vice versa, or like their girlfriend was jealous, or it was always like something weird. It wasn't until like I was in my 20s where like I like genuinely made like guy friends. And I feel like you're definitely one of them, and I do love you. And like I've met his parents; they're amazing. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But
even girls I actually want to date haven't met my parents, and you met my parents. That's great.
Oh my god,
that was that was a fun night that night.
They're super sweet. But anyways, so speaking of boy and girl friendships, like, what's your thought about that? Like, how is your experience with that? And just like give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like as a guy in LA where like there's so many bad stereotypes for men, right? Like there's this, if you're yourself and you trust that you're a good person, then that kind of does most of the work, most of the job. I just tend to first of all, I don't get all huggy, or I don't even like I take extra steps. I don't like
to be touched,
right?
So I feel like
I learned
so I feel like we vibe, and not like in that sense, but like in general, like
Emily will whoop your ass if you
well, like I just, some people are very lovey-dovey. I just don't like to be touched, like unless like I am like very physical, like physically attracted to you.
Yeah,
don't fucking touch me.
Don't
like,
fucking touch her, dude.
Don't fucking touch me.
She'll call me, and I probably won't be able to help, but also I'll know someone else that will. So
but even like in lines, like girls, like in the bathroom, like they come so close, and I'm like, personal space, like I don't want to touch you, like
this is not the market. The fuck.
Anyways,
is the bathroom?
off topic.
No, that was
okay, not getting physical,
like just respecting the bubble. I'm a teacher by day. I don't know if we want to talk about that, but I'm a teacher by day, so that's all I preach to the kids, because all they want to do is either hug or fight. So it's like I'm like personal bubble, so it actually works. But also platonic friendships, to me it's not hard to create platonic friendships if you're just yourself and you're just genuine. If you're genuine, right? Now, if you have interest in a girl, that's where it's trickier for guys, right? Yeah. Because it's almost like we foolishly think we have to switch something.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, go.
And I'm not talking about us, I'm saying in general. Is it true that if a guy befriends a girl, is because like he does find her attractive? Like a little bit.
I used to think that.
Yeah.
I used to think that in my 20s.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, obviously I'm very attractive, but
Okay, we get it, Emily. Jesus Christ. All right.
No, but
we only have an hour here. No, I'm just kidding.
In general.
I think it depends. Actually, I'm gonna say this. It depends where you meet this person. So when you meet where you meet the girl. So like we met in a big ass event, right?
We're gonna get to that.
No,
yes.
yeah, okay. Sorry. Okay. But no, I think I don't think it's true, because there are a lot of friends that I have that I would not consider, attractive in that sense, right?
Got it. Do you have a lot of girlfriends, you would say? Because I know you like doing stand-up, we're going to talk about that, but like you are around a lot of women, but like that's different though. Like you could know someone or as a coworker, but like do you consider a lot of women your friends or no?
I'd like to think so. I don't know if I was just hanging out yesterday with a group of ladies, and it was just fun. We just had dinner and it was cool.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what made you like choose me as a friend though? Because like it's one thing to just like connect or meet like how we did like at a show or whatever, or like I was gonna say something about Taron, but like I'm not the first person you probably met through him. You know what I'm saying?
No, right.
But still, like
I think it's because you were approachable. You weren't standoffish. You wear it. You wear the sweetness. Like you're a sweet person.
Thank you. I feel like so many people are like, you're so intimidated, or
no, it's
thank you.
That they're intimidated, and that comes from their insecurity. It's not, you know what I mean? But when you genuinely feel the energy, that's what it is. You give good energy, and that energy resonates.
That's a really good compliment.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
I meant it.
I feel like you touched base on this a little bit, but when you first met me, were you like, oh shit, she's hype maintenance?
Oh, 100%. I still think that. We already discussed it. You're Persian. That covers it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a Persian wife. I understand how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you're a comedian.
Yeah.
So I want to talk more about stand-up and like how you started, what made you choose that path. Like I know it's been a journey, but how did you start and when did you know like this is what I want to do?
I'll give you the condensed version of it.
Yes.
I started on December 23rd of 2021. That was my first ever mic I attempted in Sacramento. And
you're so punctual. Like I never give people like time.
I know, no one cares actually. You can delete all that. It doesn't matter.
No, tell me.
It was the day before Christmas Eve in 2021. That probably is a better way to say it. And then I had a flight to Ireland the next day, and my mindset was like, I don't care what happens on stage, I'm leaving the country like the next day. So
that's a good approach.
Yeah. So I just did it, but I had always wanted.
If this doesn't work out, I'm leaving the country.
At least you have a home in Europe.
I do.
Yeah, I don't. I went to Ireland with my then wife for a whole ass family reunion for her side in Ireland. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we got separated. So it was like, but first of all, the separation was amicable. Let's just put that aside. Yeah. We're friends.
We're not talking about her.
It's okay. Today. Yeah, not today. Yeah. It's but we're amicable. And anyway, and then my career, I really went in on the comedy. I always thought I was funny, like as a kid. And the proof was that like the teachers always called me the goof, the clown in school. Mm-hmm. And then my parents were always annoyed. So I knew I was doing something right. And and so I would go, and I went all in after that, and the 2 years in Sacramento, and then I moved here, and I'm continuing to do that.
Got you. What's your like writing process look like? Like how do you get inspiration? Like what do you do when you're like, do you sit down in a dark room? Like do you go out? Like what's your process? Because everyone does it differently.
Yeah, so you're saying dark room because most comics can't afford electricity. That's probably where that came from. No, it's dark room. No, I need light. I need some light. Actually, it affects me. Actually, room colors also affect my writing or even just productivity.
Do you go to like a specific place or just at home? Like
no, at home it sucks. I can't do it at home. Yeah, right. It's I need to change. Where do you
go?
I go to either a coffee shop, or I pull over in my car. I'm in my car a lot. I do have a place I live. I'm just saying
He doesn't live in his car.
I don't live in my car. It is a nice car, but I don't live in it. Okay.
Okay.
And so I'll write a lot on my phone, and then I'll transfer that over to paper. And the other times I write is honestly, I've written some of my better stuff on stage. Like I've literally written it right then and there, like as an improv. I do improv too, so that helps. You know.
Gotcha. And that's how you test like your jokes.
Yeah.
Improv? Yeah. So, as an artist, doing anything, like sometimes you can get like a writer's block, like even 100%. I can. How do you handle that? Like, what do you do? Do you have any tips on how you handle that?
I used to fight it and be like, come on, write something funny. And then it would never work.
Yeah.
And then I started to allow it to happen. Just accept the fact that you're human and you have ebbs and flows in life. And I actually would put everything away and I'll just either go meet with friends.
Yeah.
And I used to think that as a punishment, like foolishly. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, no, it's okay. Just do your thing and you will get the material you need, you know? And also exhaustion is real.
Yes.
Like fatigue is real. Like when you
Yeah.
get tired, you don't even know it sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're like, why can't I come up with something?
Yeah.
And it's just because I need to sleep. I'll literally go take a nap and I come back.
So it's like within 24 hours. Like I'm talking about like like sometimes I have more than like a few weeks. I'm like, I can't.
I mean, I've been there too. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that this nap will heal everything,
Yeah.
but it does give me enough clarity to realize I'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's the panic of it all that, you know, we all get. We're like, fuck, my career's over. No, it's not that. It's not that deep. It's never that deep. And it's always like, it'll be fine. And I've hit 3-week marks, months, and then all of a sudden I can't stop writing.
Yeah.
You know, so you go through all that. So.
Yeah. Who is your like favorite stand-up comedian? You can name a few.
A few?
Yeah.
Right.
That has inspired you and also like you love.
No, stand-up only, I would say George Carlin. He was huge. The fact that he could teach you on stage about what's really happening in the world, he'd wake you up, but you're also like dying laughing. Well, he was a genius. But as far as like doing all the things that I love to do, music, singing, acting, and comedy, Jamie Foxx, easily. He was, and I can't wait to meet him. And when he was sick couple years ago, I started getting worried. I'm like,
I remember you telling me this. Yeah.
I'm like, I need to meet him before.
You're like, don't fucking die before you meet me.
Thank God you're alive and healthy, Jamie Foxx. We'll meet one day.
Yes.
And my goal is to not fanboy when I meet him. I want to meet him as a peer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So.
I definitely hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have like a embarrassing moment on stage or anything that like stood out, or even if it's like funny or crazy, like someone did something? It doesn't have to be you specifically, but like something you went through.
Something. I had a heckler completely wasted. She was trashed. This was in downtown. And she put her Instagram on live and started coming onto the stage and just recording me doing my set.
People are fucking weird.
And then I'm proud of myself. I was graceful. I don't, a lot of comics
you tackled her.
Yeah. I kicked her in the fucking, no.
Like that Mean Girl radio thing.
No, I was,
yeah.
I like to think, and some of the comics who might hear this, that were there, they know what I'm talking about. But it was like, I handled it gracefully. And then security just kicked her out. But that was not even embarrassing. It was more so embarrassing for her.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I'm an empath, so I don't know how to feel offended. I always feel for them before I feel for myself.
Right. Actually, now that you said it, like, it's crazy. I'm not like a comedian, not because I think I'm funny. I am, but it's because like, no, but I've been to so many shows because of like, I have so many friends that are like comedians, and I'm like, what? I mean, it's great, you know, but I've been to many, many shows, and like, even being in the audience, I've been backstage, like, I've been on stage, I've been in the audience, like anywhere. But there's always like some weird person who's like either too drunk or like something happening, or like someone's getting kicked out, or I've
had auditions with other people where one of the acts that are up there with me like did a joke, didn't work, and this was improv, it wasn't stand up, and they were like, oh, I just bombed, and then they literally just left in the middle of the audition.
I feel like as a performer, like you can panic or get stressed 100%. Or like, I get that, like nerves, whatever. But you're in the audience. You're just there to like listen.
Oh, you're talking about hecklers.
Just, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's a lot of those.
Do you feel do you feel any pressure, like always being funny? Like, do you feel any type of pressure? Like, oh, I gotta be, because like when you're introducing yourself and they're like, oh, you're a comedian. Like,
I differentiate it. I think pressure in the sense of like, a panic attack is not healthy, obviously, but there is the type of pressure for you to rise. Like you read the room, like read who the other amazing comics that are on there and level up. I always say level up, like meet the occasion. That's great pressure to have. And it gets you focused and zoned in, and ultimately being present is the main goal every time.
But not only like during a show, like just in life.
In life.
Yeah. Do you feel pressure? I
mean, honestly, I feel sometimes like there's moments where I've been lost. That would be how I would lead to a pressure, like an unhealthy pressure. Because my day life, I'm working on, changing that to become all comedy all the time.
Right.
But like, my
But
day life,
maybe-
I got to be like,
Maybe that's good to like decompress and not be in that 24/7.
it does help. It does help, as much as I don't want to admit it. It does. But yeah, I like having the regular life. It is helpful because you actually get more material too, because you got to live life in
Yeah.
order to have material.
Yeah.
If you're only a comic all the time, you don't have anything to pull from.
Yes.
So.
Like you should wear many hats, like not just the one thing.
Yeah. I have 2 hats.
Yes, I have many more.
Of course you do.
But I want to talk about parents. Like, as we mentioned, we're both Persian. My parents, like, they lived in Europe for more than 40 years, so they are very more open-minded than other Persian parents. So like they have been more supportive. But we've talked about this before, like having Persian parents doesn't matter, or foreign parents in general. You do have this like pressure, like you want to make them proud, like you like it's something in your core, like even if you're like, I don't give a fuck, I don't care, like you do, there's some part of you that really do. So like, how did your parents like react to you doing, like, wanting to do comedy?
First they had to figure out what stand-up comedy was. They didn't even know.
Don't they have like hutan?
They're only, well, that's really like, that's more like theater style.
Yeah.
But like Maz Jobrani was their only reference, but like stand-up in general is such a newer art for Iranians. And I'll add this asterisk, for Iranians who left Iran, stand-up is a lot newer. But in Iran, there's stand-up, and it's been happening for a while now, right? We have stand-up comics in Iran. So for my parents, that was the first thing, is just for them to get it, to understand what it is. I'll never say my parents pressured me to do something else.
That's what I was gonna ask next. Like, did you ever feel pressure to like be a doctor, mohandes, or like
my dad always says, well, I did study music theory in college, which is a big step away from the main 3 that most Iranian parents expect. Not a doctor, not a lawyer, not an engineer. But my dad like agreed that I should do music, but his idea of success as a music theorist was, he's like, it's okay, you're gonna wear a suit and that will mean something. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're gonna be a conductor.
That's the symbol of
He's like, at least you have a tuxedo so you can do with the baton. I'm like, Dad, that's not the only job out of music. So that was my dad. Mom was always cool. She's always like, just do what makes you happy.
That.
Yeah, my mom is. I'm close. I'm very close. Yeah, I love my mom.
I'm super close to my mom.
I love my dad too, but
obviously,
yeah.
But you get it. Okay, we've talked about this before, but I want to talk about like how to stop caring. And I know we touched base. Like, I'm in my 20s, like mid 20s, but like you mentioned that like you used to care more, and like the older you get and like the more experience, like you not brush it off, but like you learn to not let it affect you too much and like not care as much.
You're talking about caring about results
and also like what they think, or what
like the outside.
More so parents though, because like, for example, me personally, I really don't give a fuck about what other people think about me, but I do care about my family.
Okay.
And here's the thing, I'm not concerned about the outcome for myself, it's for them. Right. Yeah. Like, I don't care if you hate on me. I'm choosing this life, but like, I don't want that to.
I mean, ultimately, isn't it? I mean, I get the family aspect. I lived the first 29 years of my life like that. I was all about what will make my parents happy, right? What will make my family proud, and it was everything that I wasn't, right? And also, what I didn't think about is if I actually love myself and go about what I want to do, that's really what they would ultimately want, is for me to be happy, right? So
I feel like Persian parents say that, but then
they're
like, oh, as long as you're happy.
Yeah, but you know what? But the but comes from them not being happy. That's where I put that. I always say this: our parents left Iran for a survival mechanism. They left because freedom was taken away, right? And so they left what they knew for their kids to have a chance, so they took that sacrifice. They made that sacrifice for people like you and me to have a chance to do something like this.
Right.
Like, we choose to live our lives now the way we want because of their sacrifice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So,
definitely.
you know, so
yes.
and when I was younger, I didn't really get that. Now I do.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, how is it, not just with stand up, just like in general, like life, like how is it in your 20s versus like 30s? Like,
Oh yeah, huge. In my 20s, I was in bands. I was in rock bands, lead singer.
how was like
look for me.
how was like
Yeah.
the mindset? Like, what was Pej in his 20s
Oh,
thinking?
I was lost completely. I was lost. I was finding myself. I thought I found myself, and then I didn't know. I thought I was a religious person. I wasn't.
I remember.
Yeah, I was like, I went, and all my 20s was not what most 20-year-old guys would say. Like I did everything like a 50-year-old in my 20s.
But you know what? I feel like you're being a little hard on yourself. I feel like everyone is just figuring things out. Like
That's true.
you chose like that route.
Yeah.
But like who said like there's one route? There's
No.
so many different ones, you know?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, what about like 30? Was it like how they say like something clicked or no?
I mean, yeah, it did. For me, it did in my
Okay.
30s. But I had to take care of the stuff that I had selected for myself for my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I had to, you know, kind of do away with all that to really pursue what I want to do deep inside, which is what I'm doing, you know, in the entertainment industry.
So would you say like in your 20s you build your courage to do what you wanted to do in your 30s?
That's a great way to say it. Yeah. In my 20s, I was lost so that in my 30s I could be found.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's a tight ass line, by the way. Write that down.
Yes.
That's a clip. No.
So, okay, I want you to like visualize yourself. Like imagine if you have a son, right? And I know like you're a very supportive person. I'm sure you will support him no matter what. But imagine if he tells you that he wants to do something that you don't like at all. Like it doesn't align with anything.
Hey.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It doesn't align with anything. Like
Yeah.
he wants to do something that you're like, you couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
How would you react?
I mean, having gone through it myself, I would be very understanding right before I deport him to
Like
Iran.
he's
No, I'm
like,
kidding. No,
he's like, Dad, I want to be a professional bungee jumper. If that even is a thing. But like
I mean,
something extreme and you're like, what?
right? I mean, at the end of the day, if he can prove it to me that he genuinely is all in, because I know that meter, I know that gut, you know, where you follow your heart, because I'm doing it. So I know that for if my offspring is also trying to do that. So yeah, I'll be supportive, but I just want to make sure it is exactly what they want.
But sometimes you think you know what you
I know,
want.
and that's where I'd have. It depends on the age, right?
Yes, because if you're
yeah.
like in your late teens, like you can't tell me shit.
No.
I know exactly what I want, and
Yeah.
like there's nothing you can say. And then later on, you're like,
right,
maybe not.
And I think the best thing I tell that my son, that person,
Yeah,
my son, I'd say that you know, explore it. Just keep exploring. You know, and I'll say, like, I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying continue to explore. Really delve into this field and see if it's really for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Okay. So for someone that's listening that wants to get into comedy or stand up and hasn't started at all, what would you say to them and what advice would you give them?
Don't overthink it. Overthinking is this thief of joy, and it also actually can stop you from doing what you want to do.
Okay.
I did that. That's why I'm saying it. I did that for my 20s.
So don't overthink.
Don't overthink.
And then can you give something more specific? Imagine like they're working a corporate job, or they're still in school. Like it could be any age.
They have so much material.
They have so much, right?
Yeah.
But like they don't know anything, or they don't live in LA. Like what are they supposed to do?
There's mics everywhere. There's mics in bumfuck Illinois. There you can find comedy. It's literally just Facebook search and you can get it.
Okay. So, and then you just go and do like improv. Is that what it is?
You just do them. You just do
open
just
mic.
get on stage. Your first set that you do, you've thought about it your whole life, usually. Right? Yeah. And then after that, you have like a day to do it again. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's usually that's what happens, but more reason to not overthink it. Have fun on stage. That's the biggest thing. Stay present and have fun, because that's why you want it. It's fun. You love it. right? It's not
Yes.
work if you're loving what you're doing,
Right.
right? It shouldn't feel like work, like the corporate job,
Yes.
you know?
I mean, some people love
Corporate jobs, yeah.
and shout out to you guys,
More-
because if you didn't exist,
Yeah,
oh my God.
and that's more power to them.
Yes,
Yeah, we need them to be there, actually, so we can do this. Yeah,
exactly. Thank you guys for being in the office, because we are not going to be
thank
there.
you. Yeah, we're not going. I wouldn't even get hired. Yeah,
We even talked about like me doing a test improv. You're like, yeah, you should come
Stand
to
up,
one of
yeah,
to one of the open mics.
I know.
It was me and like, what was your one of your friends? We
Yeah.
were talking about like, let's do it together.
Yeah,
Listen, like I've never dreamed about becoming a comedian or anything like that, but I do love humor. Like I really do.
Yeah.
And I respect the art and I see like everything that goes into it. But I would like be down to try, just like as a bucket list thing. Like, oh, check, I did that.
then what's stopping you is what I'm saying.
For me, it hasn't been a priority. I've been doing everything else. Like
Yeah.
just by having this come to life has been a process.
Kudos
itself.
to you, by the way.
Thank you.
This is
Thank you.
I'm lucky to say I was witnessing all this
Mhm.
from the inception of it. You're like, I want to do a podcast.
We were in the car.
Yeah, we were in the car. Yeah. We spent a lot of time in the car.
We were in. That sounded so weird. We were in the car.
Platonically,
he
you
was
sick freak.
driving to one of your shows.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
I was expressing that
And then to go from that, not too long ago, to
Yes.
now we're here.
being here. I have fucking cue cards.
She has
you guys.
she has. Look at that. That's
see this?
amazing.
I did this myself, and they're not fucking paper. Like
And
they're
yeah,
hardcore.
They're hard. Those are hard
Yes.
card stocks. Yeah.
Anyways, thank you. No, it's such a like having something like you see a vision in your head, but then actually like bring it into life. It's amazing.
And that should be proof that you can do whatever you set your mind to.
yes,
Because you're doing it literally right now.
Thank you.
So if you want to do stand up, just
right,
put your mind to it and do it.
I will do it.
Yes.
Yes, I will do it.
Converted another
we have
one.
it here.
There you go.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. What would you tell little Pej? Like, imagine like you being like between 10. I don't want to say 20 because 10 to 20. You can pick an age. Like little Pej.
Yeah.
In Sacramento.
I was not that little in Sacramento.
Really?
It would have been at 10. I was in Maryland. In
Maryland.
Across the DMV.
What would you say to that little version of yourself today, with the knowledge you have today?
With the knowledge I have today, keep being imaginative like you are. Don't fit in. Fit the fuck out.
I like that.
Yeah.
Fit the fuck out.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
Which
right.
someone should print that on a t-shirt.
I can't even use that. That's a LeBron James quote he
Oh.
said. So, but it's okay.
Oops.
I'm giving him credit right now. There you go.
Not me not knowing the quote. Okay. Well, now we're going to go to our positive segment.
Oh yeah, all of that was negative. So this is
No. No, every episode, this is going to be an ongoing thing. We're going to have the positive segment. It's another tool to your toolbox.
Nice.
So we're giving the listeners inspiration, and then whatever you can use from this, take it to your own toolbox and use it in your life.
Love it.
So today, we've touched base on this a little bit, but I want to talk about never giving up and following your dreams. And I am big on that. And I feel like recently, like, like I was going through a lot and you were there, but like keep pushing, not giving up. If I gave up,
No,
this wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like keep going, never give up. Be resilient.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite words right now.
It's a great word.
Being resilient.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like life is gonna happen,
Yeah.
but like it's how you roll with it.
Yeah.
So like what's your input if like someone's going through something hard?
The first thing I'd say is if you wait, it'll pass. But here's the other part of that. If you also wait on your dreams, they will also pass. Right? And this whole life will pass. So don't let everything pass. Right? Understanding that concept that everything passes is both good, but also it kind of gets you like to say, wait, I can't waste time.
Yes.
That's the only thing you don't get back in this lifetime.
Yeah.
Right? That's going to keep going. So make the most of every day. If you woke up, celebrate that shit, because that's half the battle is getting out of bed.
Right.
So.
But I would also say like believing in yourself, because sometimes you don't have a support system,
No,
whether
right.
that's family or friends, or maybe like you're all by yourself, as long as you believe, or like for me, if I have a vision, I feel like that's like God, universe, like whatever you believe in, like it's like a glimpse
Yep.
of the future.
Yep.
Like you got like a preview, and now you gotta like go chase that.
Yeah.
So I would say like believe in yourself.
I wouldn't even say chase. I would say catch that.
Attract that.
Attract that. There you go.
Yes.
I would. Yeah. Law of attraction is real.
Yes.
And
I've manifested everything.
Exactly. You put this out there, and then it responded.
Ask, believe, receive.
There you
bitches.
go. All right. This is turning into a cult. Okay. But
I would be proud to lead that cult if that is one.
that's a great cult. I'll be religious.
But have you always like been confident, or have you like struggled with that?
I don't think when it comes to what I love to do, naturally, I've been confident. It's all the other stuff. It's the things outside of the actual being on stage, right? It's the thing like
I'm talking about everything.
I know, everything. Yeah, and everything, like having that day job, right? That I know I can do well at. And that I credit to my dad. He was a hard worker his whole life. So I saw that, and I was like, I can't bitch and complain, right? Like this man built a house at 6 years old. I cannot. What am I gonna say?
My dad actually, like, they're like, oh, my dad actually built our house.
Yeah, my dad did too.
Like they physically built houses.
Oh my God.
That's why I'm like, when guys complain nowadays, I'm like,
ugh, gross.
Like
I know.
my man, my
red
like
flag.
my
Yeah, red flag.
I'm like, my dad built our house. Like,
yeah, there's not much any guy in LA is gonna say to that. Like, what are you doing? But no, yeah, it is about, again, understanding that life is not linear, right?
Yes, definitely.
Reaching your goal is not a linear thing. There's ups and downs, right? I actually saw a little clip on Instagram the other day, which was beautifully illustrated. It was two like metal spheres rolling down. One was a straight line, and one was doing down, up and down.
I've seen that.
And the one that went up and down got there quicker.
Yeah.
Than the straight line, which was interesting.
I think it's, maybe not like that's physics, but I agree. That's a great like metaphor. I didn't know it was physics, so. Yeah. Yes, you did. Anyways, no, but like the more battles you go through, or the more things you deal with, the stronger you become. You want it. Yes.
Yes. You need to fail. You gotta fail, but don't call it fail. That's what I'm saying.
Lesson. We're calling it a lesson.
I always say you either win or you learn. There's no losses. Wisdom. It's a wisdom. Everything is wisdom, because the shit that you went through, let's say as a teenager, that at the time you thought this is insurmountable.
I went through shit in my teens. But you know what? That made me strong today. I was actually talking about it with my mom the other day, because I was telling her about like some women that I'm dealing with. Yeah. And she was like, oh, like that sounds horrible, this and that. And I was like, it's fine. Like I'm not phased. And I was like, huh.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? If I didn't go through what I did in high school, if I didn't deal with those bitches, I this would have been hard for me now. But now I'm like, I used to eat bitches like you for breakfast, you know?
Oh shit.
So it made me stronger. What I mean, like, is like that life lesson, like, made me stronger, and now I'm this version of myself.
Exactly. Like I had a bad car accident at 16, right? Almost, you would have not seen me, right? It was So knock on wood that they put in here. No, there's no wood here. This is a very nice studio. But now I look back, because at 16 I woke up in hospital. I'm like, holy shit, what happened? But now I look back, I'm like, that was the greatest thing that could have happened to me, because it actually, this is not even me exaggerating. Once I was released from the hospital, I was sitting in my basement over there, because we had basements, and I was sitting there and I was like,
this all sounds really dark, just so you know.
No, it's not. This is not dark. There's a light at the end of the tunnel here.
You're like, this car crash was the best thing that happened.
The experience of it, right?
Okay.
First of all, I never raced a car again after that.
Good.
And I still don't. Now I drive slow cars like I'm a grandmother. But that moment, me sitting on the couch in the basement after having processed what just happened the previous 10 days from the accident to me being released from the hospital. I sat there. I literally said, I survived this so that I can do something great. I'll never forget that. and that was honestly, that's still here.
Yeah.
And it's like every time I'm tested or like I'm facing an obstacle, I'm like, no, you went through that.
Do you have people on the other side, like family members?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. The older I get, the more, but yeah, like my grandparents.
But even back then, I'm saying, because like I do believe in like guardian angels and like protection and stuff.
Yeah. At that time.
Because I've been in moments and situations where I'm like, I don't know how I survived or how that happened. Like someone literally saved me.
I don't know. I meet a lot of people like this, like how you're saying. I never really thought of it that way. I did have like a grandmother and a grandfather who were already passed at the time.
You know what it is though?
What is
I
it?
didn't realize it either throughout my life. I was like, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I lost my grandma when I was like 20, 21.
You were close to her, huh?
Yes. Yeah. And then after, it sounds so weird. After she passed, I really feel like I'm protected.
That's great.
Yeah. Because I am. But like, that's when I felt it. Because prior I was like, what is everyone talking about? Like protection? Like, what are you talking? Like, no, like you actually have like an angel. Yeah.
See, for me, it's more so like with family I have that are still here, even if I don't talk to them. Sometimes I feel I'm reminded, just the fact that I'm reminded of them from something, like whether it's a test or just a regular routine thing, that is for me is like, oh, I got to do that. My dad is going to be proud of this, right? Even though he's here. You know what I'm saying? That's the connection. I maybe people don't relate to that. I don't know. Maybe they do.
No, I think a lot of people do. Like, I'm also like, I want to retire my mom. I want to do this. Yeah. Like, I'm doing this not only for myself, but also the results that's going to come from it. So I get that.
What are you going to retire? What kind of house is she going to get?
When or
what? What are you thinking for a house for your mom?
Oh, well, we can talk about that later. No, but I want to like be able to like send her money and be like, you don't have to work anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So yeah. Sweet. Yeah.
Cool.
Because she's
Can you retire me too?
I feel like that's your job.
Oh, damn it. Yeah. All right. Okay. I need to have kids now.
I'm trying to retire myself. When people are like, oh, like you're so young. I'm retiring when I get married or like in my 30s. Like nice. I'm not. No.
Guys, you hear that?
Yes.
There you go.
I'm not. No, I'm slightly joking. I want to work on stuff that I love doing. Like, but I don't see that as work. That's like being passionate and having projects and stuff. But like having to work to make a living. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah. No. Do your thing.
Yes. But back to like catching like your goals or attracting them, etc. I really do believe that like if you like retreat or like go ghost a little bit and like focus, that really pushes you.
It does.
Right?
It does. People I'll speak for myself. Being alone, it does not mean you're lonely. Being alone means you're like you said, focused, or you're trying to create or achieve something out of nothing.
Yes.
Right? And that takes a lot of discipline.
Absolutely.
I love the Bruce Lee quote, be water. Like always just flexible. Be able to roam with whatever your life throws at you. Adjust, right? But don't lose sight of the goal. Adjust. If it means you got to be alone for a while, adjust. It doesn't mean you don't have friends or you're a loser or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like your true friends will understand you
100%.
and respect you.
Yes.
Because we all have those friends where like, I haven't heard from you. Like not being supportive at all. Versus like if I'm telling you this is what I'm doing, I feel like we're like that. Like you're like, oh yeah, do your thing. Like, because we know like whenever I call you, like it's gonna be the same. Like we're not changing. We're just doing whatever we need to do.
You're growing, but that's you becoming a fuller version of yourself.
Yes.
You know, like this.
Yes.
Keep going.
So cute.
Yeah. Look at this. I love it.
I know. Yeah. But and then like when it comes to like friendships again, if you mesh them with like catching like your goals, etc. Like, what type of qualities in a friend would you say is important to have? Or like, how can you, how do you say, like, how do you know when someone's like a good friend when it comes to your career versus not? I have my thoughts about it, but I want to hear yours.
So this has changed over the years. I've had many best friends, quote unquote, come and go. And I love all of them. Like if we meet up, like it's the same.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, real friends that I value are the ones that don't bullshit me. Like they're not just telling me what I want to hear.
Yeah.
They're telling me what I need.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll be like, "You're fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucking up in this area." I have friends who'll do that.
Yeah.
Right? Usually they're in New York because
You
they're
know
more.
what? I feel like
Yeah.
I would do so good in New York because I'm.
You will do so well in New York.
Right?
Yeah. Get out of here.
Yeah,
No,
I'm leaving right now, guys. No,
you should go visit. Have you visited New York?
I have family in Long Island.
Oh shit!
And I've been to like Manhattan like once, but no, I gotta go like now.
The East Coast. I lived in the East Coast, and
I love New York.
Yeah, New York is good.
Yeah,
it's
but
beautiful.
I agree. Like friends that are like honest with you, upright. That's how I am with my friends. Like if you, not necessarily like tough love, but like if you can't like take what I'm saying and like being like, oh, this person is being honest with me. Versus like getting offended because like and like it's coming from love, it's coming from like care.
Yes, and my biggest thing with this is middle grounds. There's a middle ground with a lot of it, right? When you're focused on like trying to get from point A to point B, you want those friends to be like, okay, well, you're messing up here, don't go here, you need to go this way.
Yeah.
But like when you've reached those goals, now it's time to like, you don't need the friend to continue to be, you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's like it's like a balance.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I have like this one girlfriend. She is always not going to, she's always going to support me. Like anything I say, she's like, yes. Like she's like that Delulu friend that's like, yes, exactly. Yeah. So like you were saying, like, for example, if one of my friends are like, you need to do this, you need to da da da. And then you do want to hear that, like, oh yeah, you got this. Like, oh yeah, I
it's
agree.
So true. It's so true. And then I keep a close circle. I have a small circle of friends who are outside of my industry.
Yes.
Right.
A lot of my friends are not doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. No. And that's important. Right. You're gonna have friends and acquaintances in your industry. That's inevitable.
For sure.
And
that's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing at all. All of it is good, but not having one does you feel it after a while. Like you need people who are not.
Sometimes you want people that are not doing what you're like. Sometimes like for example, if I meet my friends that are not doing this and they want to ask me about this, like I don't want to talk. Like I want to do like let's not talk about it. Actually.
Right. Exactly. Like I want to talk about fucking
anything
dogs,
else.
You know what I mean?
Like how is this going? You'll see how it's going.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. Just official and just you'll see. Yeah. Exactly.
Mind your business, ho.
There's a lot of fucking hoes out here. No, I'm just kidding.
There's a lot of hoes in LA. Shout out. No, I'm just joking.
It is we hope. Yeah.
We are like in the capital. Like we are there.
That's right.
Yes. It's Anyways, moving on to a segment I call the ick list. Ugh. So we're gonna each say like a couple, maybe like 3 icks that we have. Like it could be dating, it could be friendships, but more so like dating.
What do you mean by icks?
Icks, like someone does this and you're like immediately turned off, or you're like, ugh, like there's no way. Like you immediately you turn off.
So in America we call that pet peeves.
I think younger people call it icks actually.
All right, now you're putting my age out there. That's an
right?
ick, actually.
TikTok.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, but like the TikTok, like everyone says icks.
Is it?
I feel like pet peeves is like if general people do this, that's disgusting.
Oh, so you're talking about dating?
Ick is like, it's more like dating. Like
or
you
red
just
flags.
lost. No, because yes, it's like touching base, but red flags is like, this is a warning you need to be aware of.
Right.
Icks is just like a preference of yours. It doesn't have to be like universal.
It's
thing.
More like surface stuff.
Yeah, it could be dumb stuff.
Yeah,
like, it could be anything.
Oh, I got a lot of those.
Okay, so
and that's probably why I'm single. But yeah.
I feel like guys have less because like when you like hear people say icks, they're like, oh shit, like the way he breathes, the way this, the that, like, and guys are like, oh my god, you know.
Again, depends on how old that guy is. The 20-year-old guys, they don't give a fuck.
I'm not talking about 20. Like even guys in their mid 30s are.
Listen, they're not all like me, you know. They are not all.
That is true. They're not all
themselves gentlemen, you know. No,
yes,
but I do have icks.
You are a gentleman. I have to tell you.
Thank you.
No, but actually, that's like one of my requirements from like for having a guy friend is like he needs to be a gentleman. Like you always like open the doors.
Yes.
You're like paying for stuff. Like you're always like I feel safe, protected. You know, like you're So I will give shout out girls. Like he is such a great guy. Honestly.
Come on. Let me open the door. please.
Are you single?
I am single.
See, ladies?
I'm as single as a Pringle. Yeah, icks.
Yes.
All right, ladies, listen to this. Don't show up with any of this. Don't show up with any of this.
I haven't heard many icks.
My icks are, I've had these icks for actually since I was like 18.
Tell me.
And they haven't changed. Like I haven't grown a tolerance for them.
Oh my God, I'm scared. Tell me.
No, if you're fake, don't. I'm already like done, right?
Yeah.
Meaning like you're saying things that are memorized. You're not really talking from you. Okay, that's like a more broad thing.
Yes, I feel like I'm not saying that like men and like I'm not trying to do a difference like that, but I feel like it's harder for men to spot someone that's fake versus women, because sometimes they're like, oh, like she seems nice, and then they're like, oh, she's the biggest bitch, like she's so fake. Like
I don't know. I think for me, I'm attracted more at this point in my life to personality than I am to looks, although looks are important because that's what gets things rolling.
So how would you know that someone's fake? Because they're not being real?
It's just like personality cues that I see that I'm like, oh, okay, you're just trying to be this person. You're people who try to fit in a box.
Okay.
For the sake of
Gotcha.
Advancing something, and I'm not into that.
Got it.
But here's the more surface stuff.
Okay.
Feet.
Well, we're gonna do like one.
Oh, you're
each.
going. Okay,
yes.
my bad. All right,
we'll
all right.
go with the feet. My feet are beautiful, by the way. Like.
You have nice feet, yeah.
No, people always like, they're like, oh my God, you should sell feet pics and shit. But anyways, not about me.
Is it?
I mean, it is my podcast.
It is your podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm aligning to
feet,
what you.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So feet, what does that mean?
Feet
like,
have to be proper. They have to be. First
like,
of all, I don't like big feet, so I'm out immediately. And then also, if you're not taking care of your feet,
yeah,
I'm done. Like I've had dates where I look at the feet first. As soon as they walk in, I'm like, I
cannot imagine like going on a date without like getting like a pedicure.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But it's.
I mean,
bad.
I would get a pedicure for myself in general.
No, for sure, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's not every woman thinks that way.
That's actually true. I've seen like sometimes when I'm out with my girls, and I'm like,
yeah,
like what the fuck is
yeah.
that?
And then the other one is I'm flexible with plastic surgery.
Okay.
But after a while,
I feel like guys say that like, oh, I want her natural, and then like they go after like the biggest fake butt and the big tits.
Not this guy.
They always say girls don't actually listen to that. Just look however you want to look.
Or I'm telling you, man, if
there's
it's like,
someone that doesn't look as like plastic.
If when they don't look like when they start to look like a doll you buy from Toys R Us, then I'm like, I'm out. Okay,
well, there's a lot of celebrities that have had a lot of surgeries, but they don't look like dolls.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's a good surgeon they have, or whatever, right? Or Botox or whatever.
So go to a good surgeon, or don't do it.
Or don't do it. I'm not being a hypocrite. I did rhinoplasty. I have a so this is
Was it like this before?
It was super. It was super.
It was one of these.
I was like a pelican. You know? But no. But yeah, it's So I'm okay with all, but like trying to make improvements here and there. That's cool. I'm again middle ground, right?
So fake people,
bad feet,
too
much bad plastic surgery, bad plastic surgery.
Okay.
Your turn.
Yes, you totally
dude.
Forgot
Whatever.
About mine.
Okay.
This is what guys. They're like, mines are this. Like when you go on a date, like you have to listen. To,
I like how you've been like flowering me up, and then you're also shitting on me at the same time. You're like, this guy's the best guy. Also, all guys do this. Like, fuck.
I'm not saying that you specifically. I'm speaking general.
It's fine. I'm not offended. You bought me a water.
Yeah, I got the best water too. You're like, can you give me water? First of all, like you are actually the one that always gets me stuff. But I'm like, you're my guest, so like, let me get you water. But I was like, I'm about to give him a water.
Hey, this water is from the Alps of fucking Bangladesh. All right.
No. Okay. So my ick, I have a lot too, but I would say like mine's like if someone's inconsistent, disgusting. Like you can be a 10, you can be like wealthy, you can be good looking, you can be loyal, like everything. But if you're inconsistent, stay the fuck out of my face, because that is disgusting. Like that's just like that shows me that you have like you're lacking something. Like there's
inconsistent
something.
How?
Like
with like how they treat
like
you.
being like hot and cold. Like sometimes they're like, oh, I want to see you, da, da, da. Like love bombing or like gaslighting, like being like, oh, like, or even like behaving good for a while and then like stop and then come back. Like, no.
Well, isn't that being fake? That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but I feel like you can be fake but consistent.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work.
People do a lot of work out here. But I'm saying like being inconsistent. Like, for example, not just, I call it like the 2-week trial. Like guys are perfect for 2 weeks and then they're not even perfect, but like trying to be for 2 weeks and then they show their like true colors. So, but just like being consistent. And same with like friends too. Like, you know, like touch base sometimes.
Right,
so,
right.
Like,
no, it's true.
So inconsistency.
Yeah.
And then, so if you're like going on a date and the person doesn't like confirm or checks in, especially as a man, like if you don't confirm with me, not like just the day of, like if you don't text me like a day or two before, if you don't, I'm making other plans and I'm not showing up to that date.
That goes both ways.
Yeah, but you kind of want the man to be like, oh, like I'll pick you up at this time, at this, you know, like.
I know, but also like if I'm texting the girl that I'm trying to go at,
well, she should respond. Obviously.
But also like don't like. There's a time. There's like a little window of time that it's okay, but after that, and if that's consistent, that to me is a kind of a turn off.
Gotcha.
Because like if you're like, yeah, I'd love to, and then
like you have the date, like let's
you have the date set, and then you stop responding. Like the day of. No,
that's a ghost. That's gonna be a ghost. Ghosting.
Or,
no.
Yeah.
Well, it's like people that doesn't follow through. That's what I'm saying.
I guess I don't go on enough dates, but yeah. Anyway, okay, I have an ick.
Okay, tell me.
Ick. This is such a funny word. Ick. I don't think it's a full word. Is this a real word? Ick.
It's giving you like the ick.
Yeah, like gross. Like I get it.
Yeah, like a turn off.
Yeah. Okay, being messy.
Oh, yes. That's disgusting.
Being messy is,
and that goes like hand to hand with like hygiene. Like you need to be like,
oh yeah. If you have like questionable breath, we are sitting.
I think that is disgusting. I mean, like,
you think it's rare, but I've seen this stuff, man. A girl that outside is a 10, but then inside is like
guys too. Like they think
100%.
Like they're immune or something. No, like disgusting. You need mints too, buddy.
Yeah. Just Mentos, just
yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I know, because that tells me what it would be in the bedroom. Possibly it's gross.
Ew, but oh my god, oh, that's disgusting.
I love it. We have an ick that we agree on.
Like I literally am disgusted by the core right now.
I know.
Okay, let's do one last one and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, go, your turn.
Okay, so for mine is like actions aligning with words, like willpower, and this goes like both with friendships, platonic, dating. Like if you say you are gonna do something, you should do it, because you're actually harming yourself more so than anyone else. Like I am big on willpower, but yeah, when it comes to like dating, like guys are like, oh, like I'm gonna take you here, we're gonna do this, where, when, where are the reservations, what are the plans, like, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, actions that aligns with words.
Right. I'm with you.
Okay.
I think my last one would be if you're loud. Like if you're loud.
I think this one could be a little sensitive for some people.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just, But loud, there's
not me. I don't care. I'm gonna go.
There's times where I would say it's acceptable.
I agree. Like some people are like, it's like they're seeking attention. They're like.
Right. That,
and you're like, it's not that funny.
Yeah, the laugh matters. Like how you laugh at something. Like you're.
No, I get that.
And then as a comic, like I can't. Like if
that's like an attention thing. I think.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, laugh loud.
Well, so thank you so much for coming. Where can people find you?
You can find me on all socials at Pej the Maniac, PEJ, and then the Maniac spelled as you know it. And then I'm going to be performing every Thursday. I'll be at Laugh Factory, and I'm going on tour.
That's nice. When are you going?
I'm going in July. Okay. July 11th through the 19th. I'll be touring Canada as part of the United Colors of Canada. Canada, baba. We're going to Canada. We're going to be touring Canada from July 11th through the 19th. under the United Colors of Comedy tour. And it's our second tour with this group. So last year we did it, and we're doing it again.
How exciting. Well, again, thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Aligned-ish. Please follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. It's Emily Azizi, at Emily Azizi. And soon we're going to have on Instagram for this. It's going to be Aligned-ish podcast. So it's already there, but just keep an eye open. So thank you so much. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.